All right. Put them at corner of the room. So, good morning, Jakar's Fit Fam. This is for Thursday, 2019-04-25. I'm going to combine the home and then the gym in one for today, only because home, when you look at your workout, you've got one modality that you're doing the entire time. So you are running. Please go through your warm-up. It's a little bit longer of a workout, right? And usually the longer the workout, the shorter the warm-up. However, for running, you want to make sure that you are warm and primed and ready to go. So go through the warm-up, roll out, stretch, anything that's specifically tight for you. You want to pay attention, obviously, to your hips and your calves, and the reason for that is just our running stride. So I haven't specifically done anything with you guys about like pose running or form running or this, that, and the other, but the reason that your running warm-up is the way it is kind of draws from the experience that I've had with using like Unbreakable Runner to train for my marathon. Oh, it's a big bug. And benefits of training in a basement or having basement space. And so, especially since this is a virtual, right, and you guys are doing this on your own, and unless you're sending me videos, I can't give you specific feedback on your running form. There's lots of resources out there on pose running. Like I've mentioned, I personally love Brian McKenzie and Unbreakable Runner, the work that he did with that before he transitioned to power speed endurance. But anything like chi running that gets you in a forward position with a mid-foot strike that pulls the power and momentum between gravity and using like your glutes and your hamstrings to run, not heel striking and getting all that impact on your knees. I love all that kind of stuff. So if that's something that you want to see more of from me, definitely let me know because I can do more of that. But one of the biggest takeaways from that is to like foam roll, get those muscles, you know, loose so that they can fully contract and expand, and make sure your glutes are activated so that your hips aren't tight while you're running, and that can just help all your form as you run. Your score home is the total amount of time for each of your running segments. So you are not including the rest time in this. The rest time is for your benefit so that you're able to slightly recover and hit each repeat as fast as possible. If you need a substitute for this, please contact me and let me know what other equipment that you have available that you could use or how else you need to modify this. So have fun, home. Gym. I am going to get nerdy about your shoulder movements today because we've got 3 different kinds, and especially when it comes to the Metcon, I want to make sure that you guys are doing this correctly. So your strength, you've got 2 portions. They flow into each other, so you're not supersetting them back and forth. You're going to do all of the strict presses, then you're going to do all of the push presses, and then you'll see that you have push jerks in your first Metcon. So, strict press, these are from the rig, right? So front rack position, hands outside your shoulders, about thumbs width away, but that's totally up to you. Obviously, you don't want to be snatch grip too wide. You don't want to be too narrow. So about thumbs width outside of your shoulders, depending on your mobility. Nice, good front rack position. Don't need to necessarily be high, but you don't want to be too low. You do want that bar resting on your shoulders. With a strict press, strict means no hips. So you're going to screw those feet into the ground, squeeze your glutes, squeeze your abs, big deep breath in, exhale, move your head back out of the way, push that bar up, pull it up overhead, bring that head forward so that your arms are aligned with your ears at the very least. This does not count, okay? Press it up all the way overhead. Up top, can't see it because I'm out of the frame, but you want your wrists over your shoulders, over your hips, over your ankles, which means we're not bending and doing a standing bench press, okay? So those are your strict presses. Up, back down, touch your collarbone, touch your shoulders. You need to make contact with something down here. Don't just bring it here and be like, yeah, I'm good. Bring it all the way back down to where you started, press back up, okay? Touch and go, don't bounce, but keep everything nice and tight here. No hips for that. Because for part 2, you do get to use your hips. You then have your push press. Timing on this is very important. You can lift approximately 30% more weight with the push press than with the strict press, because we are now using the power of our hips to add some momentum to that bar. But once we use our hips, we're not using them again. So what that looks like with your legs is a dip and drive. And then after you drive, you're squeezing your butt, you're squeezing your quads, and you're finishing with your shoulders. So front rack position, drive press. Okay? For this, a lot of times we like to kind of do this number and then come back up. Try your best not to make a rocking motion with your upper body. Think about, if you will, being against a wall as you dip and drive, okay? And that'll physically block you from being able to move that way. Obviously, you can't lift with weights against a wall, but just mentally picture dip, drive, and press, keeping that back straight against it the entire time. No premature pressing. So what you don't want to see is that bar coming up and you're pressing before you fully extend your knees. You really want to maximize the power from your hips to move that bar. If you can, competitor string them, you can. If you need to catch, receive, and reset for each one, that's fine. You are just not re-racking in between your reps, okay? All right, so strict press, push press. For your Metcon, go ahead and warm up each of those movements. So for your deadlift, right, you're going from the ground, full extension. I'm not going to call out Devin or Josh Bridges at this point, but please remember, we are working out to get fit. Getting fit means full range of motion. Yes, we want to do this as quickly as possible because we're trying to get as many reps in as we can. But we don't want to do that at the expense of our fitness. Full range of motion, good reps. So back tight, which means straight, okay? From the ground, full extension. Squeeze your butt and your shoulders will fall in alignment where you need them to be. You don't want to hyperextend, just be here. We don't want to be here. This is not counted for your deadlift. Hang squat planes. So the height of the hang doesn't matter. Player's choice on that, whatever you need to do. I don't know if I have her. Once you've got your bar up here, little hang, jump, receive your barbell in a squat, stand up all the way. If you can cycle it, by all means, cycle it, okay? If you need to take a break, that's fine. Hips below your knees, stand up. And then here you have push jerks. So, again, this doesn't necessarily matter if you end up push pressing it. They're your shoulders, by all means, make them work harder. But push jerk, we're going to dip and drive and then jump underneath that bar to receive it and then stand up, okay? If you can competitor string at this weight, it's a little bit heavier than usual. You can do this, but stand up all the way between your reps. So what we're not going to be seeing from any of you is this. No, none of that. Stand up all the way before you go again. Bar facing burpees. So this is interesting. I actually had an in-depth conversation yesterday about burpee standards and like, should the 2-foot takeoff and landing be such a strict standard? We see these elite athletes doing the little like 1 foot hop that's still a jump, but it's not simultaneous both feet, and is that okay, this, that, and the other. So for our purposes, I do want you jumping over the bar. Both feet need to be airborne at the same time at some point. However, they do not need to leave the ground or land simultaneously. So if it's a little bit of a giddy up, that's fine. Don't trip over the bar. Bar facing burpees means that you're making a cross with your bar. So you're not going to be diagonal to your bar at all. I want you to be facing the bar, and when you're on the ground, your forehead can't be over the bar. You need, if you were to lay all the way down on the ground, make sure that there's some space between the bar and your head. So all the way back behind the bar, chest to deck, 2 foot, hop over, that's 1. Turn around, chest to deck, 2 foot, hop over, 2. Hope that makes sense. You're welcome. Also, maybe not, because you could go faster that way. Have fun with the AMRAP. Then you've got a straight up conditioning piece at the end. It is for time. Recover as you need to, and then attack that, get a new PR time. And your cool down is a skill today, so please read the notes on that. Don't exceed the time frame, don't tear your hands. You can either just work on stringing a few together, work on doing them strict. It is a thing. You can play with that if you want. You can try it weighted, so put like a med ball in between your feet and do them that way. You can do some jumping drills. So just kind of recover from your workout, work on some skills, bring that heart rate back down, and then go ahead and stretch as needed. All right, guys, thanks for watching. Attack with Fire. Follow, like, share, hit up the website, see what's new over there, and happy Thursday. Where's the camera? I always look at the wrong side. Drakaris.